Guys, I have been obsessed, all right, with Dyson spheres since I was extremely young. I would say maybe 12, 13. I kind of understood kind of what they were fully at the time. Well, semi-fully at the time, obviously. I'm not a physicist, right? But they've always absolutely intrigued me. But I think before we can actually explain the Dyson sphere, let's talk about the Kardashev scale. So the Kardashev scale, what it is at least, is it gives you the ability to kind of understand different levels of societies and civilizations, let's say civilizations, right? So you have level 1, 2, and 3. Level 1, we're not even at level 1 yet, right? But I would say we're kind of probably halfway there at least. We can kind of utilize and store and produce all types of energies on Earth. Okay, but we cannot, in fact, harness all of it, right? So level 1 would basically be a planet that has the ability to harness all of the energy on the planet itself and utilize and store it, basically. Level 2 would be Dyson sphere, right? So a Dyson sphere, basically, let's say if we were to put mirrors around, build a mega structure, all right, and put mirrors around the entire sun, and we can focus all of the sun's energy into one singular point, store it, and then give it to the planet, right? If we had the ability to do that, we'd be a level 2 society. Level 3 would basically be that you had the ability to harness all of the energy in the galaxy, all of it, right? That's yours, that's ours. So we have never seen anything other than nothing, really, right? We've only seen us, right? So Dyson spheres are incredibly intriguing because I just want to build a megastructure and put it around our energy source, meaning the sun, plus all the energy, obviously, on our planet, and we can utilize it and do all types of crazy things with it. Maybe we could travel outside of our solar system. That'll be amazing, right? If we could, in fact, harness the energy and kind of make it wireless and store it successfully. All these things, amazing, all right? But either way, let's go ahead and jump to the video here. The name of the video is A New Study Finds Potential Alien Megastructures Known as Dyson Spheres, named after Freeman Dyson, obviously. But all right, let's get it. Let's check it out. Let's go jump into this immediately.
A group of researchers say they've identified at least 7 stars that might be surrounded by super advanced alien megastructures known as Dyson spheres. Yes, I said alien structures, and I know what you're thinking, but just stay with me here, because the basic idea was this. Superior intelligent life might build big structures around their home stars or planets as a way to harness or reuse that energy. Right. A 1960s physicist who came up with this idea, Freeman Dyson, argued that if these structures existed, there'd be so much energy that human scientists on Earth could probably spot it because it would emit a lot of infrared radiation. So in this new study, researchers say they found 7 sources glowing in the infrared, those are their words, but couldn't find an obvious explanation for why these sources are glowing so much, which could mean they're Dyson spheres or something else entirely. And what I'm saying is, what? Space is so crazy. I wish I understood it better. So let's talk to a scientist to help wrap our heads around this. I'm joined now by Professor Jana Levin. She is an astrophysicist and author of the book Black Hole Survival Guide, as well as the Claire Topper.
Black Hole Survival Guide? That's not plausible.
Professor of Physics and Astronomy at Barnard College of Columbia University. Professor, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I tried to explain it a little bit. That was my very dirty version. I was going to be like, yeah, but I'm an English major who just had Google. You have a PhD in physics from MIT. So how do you explain Dyson?
That's fair.
I think that was an excellent explanation. If you look at where we are relative to the sun, we're very far away. We're the third planet in. And imagine the light that we try to collect, let's say, with solar panels on people's homes or on any roofs to collect that energy. Imagine if you got really close and you caught everything the sun was emitting. It's just a tremendous amount of power.
Unnecessary.
And so Freeman Dyson was thinking about this. Actually, he was originally inspired by sci-fi, written by Olaf Stapleton like decades earlier. And his idea wasn't so much a solid sphere. It was really like satellites in orbit, a network of things that would be orbiting and would essentially, what we would now say, have solar panels and are collecting that energy.
So what do you make of this study, just generally speaking, I guess? Do you think it's possible that these are the elusive Dyson spheres?
So I think it's very unlikely, but I'm open. We have to be open as scientists. If we think we know the answer before we go and observe, then we're already defeated.
Absolutely.
I think it's
like, guys, everyone everyone loves the concept of like theorizing about things. I mean, if you speak to anyone that's even science oriented, everyone kind of loves the theoretical physicists because it's intriguing, right? To listen to them, just like, bro, make things up. I want to talk. I want to talk about this, right? I understand. Is it plausible? No. Come on, let's be real, bro. Right? But isn't it interesting to get your brain working, right? And just listening to how potentially, right, these things could actually be. The fact that she wrote a book about the black hole survival guide, that's just pure theoretical. So that's intriguing. I feel like I need to read it.
Terribly unlikely, but it's extremely exciting and interesting
Right,
to think about. And it's fun to think about. What's probably going to happen is we're going to look at this infrared signature that you mentioned, and we're going to find out that there's a natural cause.
Right.
So a lot of things emit heat in the infrared. You know, infrared goggles allow us to see human bodies and the heat of human bodies. And it's not that dissimilar that when we look in the infrared, we see things emitting heat. So the idea was if we had this very technologically advanced civilization, like thousands of years beyond where we are right now.
Probably millions, to be honest. It's not thousands. It'll definitely be millions.
And they could build such a thing, and it was collecting all this energy. It would collect also some heat, and it would have to cool off, and we would see that in the infrared.
Right, it'd be
But
obvious.
there are other natural possibilities that could explain.
What do you think those possibly could be?
Well, it could be a very young star that still has some material around it in kind of a disk, and that's how planets form. Planets coalesce out of these early disks, and those can emit in the infrared. It could be that there's actually an entire galaxy in the distance behind the star, and we're seeing that galaxy, and we can't disambiguate those. Or it could be planetary collisions. I mean, there are natural explanations.
That's a great
but I
one,
think it's
actually.
worth noting,
Well
we're
played.
looking just 1,000 light years around us. That sounds far, but it's actually really close.
not.
That's
Yeah.
our backyard. The entire Milky Way galaxy is 100,000 light years across, and there are probably more planets in the Milky Way galaxy than there are stars. So we're talking of hundreds of billions and maybe trillions of planets out there. And I think we're in an era where we think the emergence of life is possibly inevitable elsewhere, that we're not the only example. Now, whether or not they've survived with thousands of years of industrial advancement to build a Dyson sphere is a different story.
Yeah. Do you think there is a scenario where a Dyson sphere might actually exist, or do you think this is really just the stuff of sci-fi fantasy?
I think it's feasible, unlikely. If you look at where we are since the Industrial
Well played.
Revolution, it's only a couple hundred years. We're in a precarious position. We have climate change. We have struggles with nuclear power, nuclear weapons that are could be destructive. It's unclear that any species that makes it that advanced could survive far enough into their own future to be able to build a Dyson sphere.
Yeah, but that's the problem right there. I mean, we cannot look at things that we do not know as if everything is us, right? I wouldn't say we're the best examples, guys, right? To be honest. I mean, look at us. We don't like each other for the most meaningless things. This guy votes differently than me. Oh, I have to hate him. Bro, come on. Or he looks different than me, and I hate him, bro. We literally fight over nonsense. Right, so I would not say that we're the pinnacle of, I mean, I get it, this is our experience, so we have to look at it from the human perspective, but, bro, we should not be the, right?
But there are optimists out there who say we'll find a way.
Yeah, right. The universe is a pretty big place, right? And it'd be a shame if it was just us. Seems like
That
a
would
lot
be
of
a
waste
real
of
shame.
space. Right? All right, Professor, thank you so much for being here. We
Thank
really
you so much for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
Thanks for watching.
Like, bro, there can't be aliens. They would have seen us by now, type of thing, right? I get it. The guy who was with Oppenheimer, right? But here's the thing, bro. I like talking about it. Sure thing. Keep sending me these videos. Let's theorize all together and have fun. But is it plausible, bro? I guess it could be plausible, based off of a lot. Actually, there are a lot of planets, an absurd amount of planets, right? But is it possible? Anything's possible, I'm guessing, right? But yeah, that's it. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.